The paper proposes a novel approach to overcome off-road trajectories in vehicle motion prediction by leveraging the Frenet frame representation of the scene. It argues that state-of-the-art, sotA, models are prone to predict off-road trajectories in challenging scenarios due to insufficient consideration of map information. The authors demonstrate how a Frenet frame wrapper can be applied to sotA models without changing their architecture, reducing the off-road rate by more than 90% in challenging scenarios without sacrificing average performance. This approach is particularly effective in scenarios where turns are ahead and the vehicle has not yet started to turn, mitigating the generalization problem in trajectory prediction. The proposed method integrates state-of-the-art prediction models with a Frenet frame wrapper, enhancing trajectory prediction accuracy and generalization in challenging scenarios. It leverages the Frenet representation of the scene, significantly reducing off-road predictions. The method is structured into several sections, starting with an overview of relevant work on trajectory prediction in the Frenet frame and generalization and robustness in vehicle trajectory prediction. The paper then describes the proposed method, followed by the experimental setup and results. The proposed method for predicting the future motion of a target vehicle, TV, leverages the Frenet frame transformation. It begins by identifying relevant lane centerlines the TV could traverse, extending them to 110 meters and duplicating them at intersections and forks. The Frenet frame transformation is applied to the inputs, ensuring the TV's current position is at s equals 0, with coordinate frame independent attributes remaining unchanged and the yaw angle replaced with curvature. A prediction model is inferred using the transformed inputs for each Frenet frame, with the model's architecture remaining unchanged. Predicted trajectories are represented in the Frenet frame and probabilities are conditioned on the centerline. At inference time, trajectories are projected back to the Cartesian frame, allowing for a variable number of kn output trajectories to be obtained with a single batched forward pass. To comply with public benchmarks, the number of output trajectories is reduced to a fixed number, k, by estimating the prior p, c, I, with a simple MLP model that predicts a score for each centerline, conditioned on the target vehicle's past motion history and a set of points along the centerline. The trajectories are then selected greedily, starting from the one with the highest probability and suppressing all trajectories whose endpoint is located within a radius of 1.0 meters. The learning process aims to teach the model a strong inductive bias towards following a given lane. The model is inferred only with respect to the respective Frenet frame f and using the inputs s and q represented in f, k trajectories t and probabilities p, t, c, are obtained. After transforming the ground truth to f, the same loss function as for the model trained on Cartesian data is applied. The evaluation of the method is conducted on the Argoverse dataset, comprising 205,942 scenarios for training and 39,472 for testing. Each sample consists of 2 seconds of history with the goal of predicting the next 3 seconds of the TV's future motion. The scene attack benchmark is used to generate new challenging test scenarios and conduct experiments on the generalization ability of the method. The authors introduce a Frenet wrapper approach to generate new scenes conditioned on existing scenes by shifting scene points according to different transforms. These scene points include observed past trajectories of all agents, ground truth future of the TV, and points describing lane centerlines. The transform functions only modify scene points after a predefined distance ahead of the TV, leaving the road behind and immediately ahead of it unchanged. 3 attack functions are used to perturb an original scene: smooth turn, double turn, and ripple road. To evaluate their results, the authors use several metrics, including off-road probability, ORP, mean inter-endpoint distance, MIED, minimum average, final displacement error, min ADE, min FDE, and single trajectory miss rate, MR1. They report the results of their wrapper approach with 2 state-of-the-art prediction models, Lane GCN and Multipath++. The authors compare the prediction performance of the original models with those integrated into their Frenet wrapper and denote the latter with the suffix SD. The authors also evaluate their method against 2 simple baselines. One that adds a training regularization to prevent the model from only extrapolating the history, and another that removes the motion history entirely from the model input. Additionally, they evaluate a simple heuristic model that predicts trajectories with fixed accelerations. The results on the original scenes from the Argoverse dataset show that the SD models have higher displacement errors than the corresponding Cartesian models but have equally small off-road probabilities and more diverse predictions. The authors observe that the increase in ORP of the lane GCN-SD model results from scenarios where it fails to accurately follow a different lane than the reference lane. The qualitative results also show that the SD models adapt to corner cases where the lane centerlines are not followed. This study introduces a general Frenet transform wrapper, compatible with state-of-the-art prediction models. The authors demonstrate its effectiveness on two different models, showing that representing input and output in the Frenet frame significantly improves generalization to challenging scenarios. Results indicate a reduction in predicted off-road probability by over 90% on the scene attack benchmark, along with a 20% increase in the diversity of predicted trajectories. However, this improvement comes at the cost of slightly reduced prediction accuracy and inference runtime. The paper also discusses limitations, such as the need for a better estimation of the prior over relevant lane sequences to enhance predicted mode probabilities. Results of various models on perturbed scenes are presented in the table, including Multipath++, Multipath++ with scene decoration, SD, Lane GCN with SD, and their respective variants with different node numbers, N6. The models are evaluated using minimum average distance error, min ADE, off-road percentage, ORP, and miss rate, MR1. The SD models outperform their original counterparts in terms of min ADE and ORP, with significant improvements in MR1. Specifically, the Multipath++ SD model achieves a min ADE of 1.388, ORP of 3.6, and MR1 of 88.0, outperforming the original Multipath++ model. The Lane GCN-SD model also shows improved performance, with a min ADE of 1.209, ORP of 3.1, and MR1 of 85.6. The use of node number N6 further enhances the performance of these SD models. In contrast, the original models, such as Multipath++ and Lane GCN, struggle to adapt to perturbed scenes, resulting in higher min ADE and ORP values. The incorporation of dynamic occupancy, as seen in Multipath++ DO and Lane GCN DO, also improves performance, but still lags behind the SD models. Qualitative results in Figure 3 demonstrate the performance of the SD models on perturbed scenes, showcasing their ability to predict correct trajectories even when original models fail. This increased diversity and adaptability are evident in the figure, where green, yellow, blue, and red colors distinguish between the centerline, state history, predicted trajectories, and ground truth, respectively. Overall, the results suggest that the SD models are more robust and adaptable to perturbed scenes, achieving better performance in terms of min ADE, ORP, and MR1. This page provides a detailed list of methodologies and concepts used in cutting-edge research. It delves into the intricacies of various algorithms, mathematical models, and experimental techniques that are currently shaping the field. The research begins with an exploration of novel computational methods designed to enhance data analysis efficiency. These algorithms leverage machine learning principles to identify patterns within large datasets, providing researchers with valuable insights into complex systems. In addition to computational tools, the study also delves into experimental techniques such as high-resolution imaging and spectroscopy. These methods allow scientists to observe phenomena at the molecular level, shedding light on the underlying mechanisms of various biological processes. Furthermore, the paper discusses several mathematical models developed to simulate real-world scenarios. These models employ differential equations and statistical mechanics to predict outcomes and understand the behavior of complex systems under different conditions. The research also touches upon the limitations and assumptions associated with these methodologies. It highlights potential pitfalls and areas for future improvement, emphasizing the need for continuous refinement and adaptation in the face of new data and discoveries. Ultimately, this comprehensive list serves as a valuable resource for researchers seeking to understand the latest advancements in their field. By summarizing key concepts and techniques, It facilitates knowledge sharing and collaboration among experts, paving the way for further innovation and discovery. This section presents an extensive ablation study on centerline aggregation methods for trajectory prediction models, with results tabulated in Table 3. The privileged prior models, denoted by an asterisk, predict conditioned on the ground truth future centerline, serving as an upper bound. These models significantly reduce the gap between models with k equals n6 and those with k equals 6, with multipath plus SD asterisk operator even outperforming the Cartesian multipath plus model. This emphasizes the importance of accurate prior estimation over lanes for improved prediction performance. In contrast, uniform prior models assume a uniform distribution over centerlines, selecting the k trajectories with the highest probabilities. This approach results in higher displacement errors compared to the privileged prior models. The lane scoring model is a simple feedforward network that predicts a score for each centerline in the scene, followed by a softmax layer to obtain the probability for each lane. The model inputs comprise the target vehicle's past trajectory and a sequence of poses along the centerline. The lane scoring model is trained for 10 epochs with a learning rate of 1e-4 and a batch size of 128. Using the cross-entropy loss as the training objective. An alternative approach is to employ K-means clustering of the nk trajectories to obtain a set of k output trajectories, with the estimated probability of each trajectory obtained from the inverse rank of the cluster. This method is denoted by the suffix km. The greedy sampling method extends the lane scoring model with non-maximum suppression, selecting the most probable trajectory and removing all trajectories within a radius of 1.0 meters of the selected one. This process is repeated until k equals 6 trajectories are selected. The results show that selecting a set of k equals 6 trajectories with a uniform prior results in the highest displacement errors. In contrast, leveraging the lane scoring model to estimate the prior over the lanes results in decreased displacement errors. Combining this with non-maxima suppression, as done by the greedy sampling method, results in the lowest displacement errors among the SD models while maintaining a low miss rate.